And Paulina Luna, the Florida congresswoman, with us right now. This is scary stuff, Congressman. If you don't mind my, asking you about it, what did you and your office learn? What was this threat all about?
Yeah, so actually it started over the weekend. It was brought to our attention that people were doxing our home address and actually soliciting strangers to send threatening packages to our home. And then within hours of the attempted assassination for the second time of President Trump, our office got an actual shooting threat that's being taken very seriously with Capitol Police. And so because of the nature of the investigation, I can't give too many details, but what I will tell you is that this is not something that they think is just a joke. I've been staffed since it occurred, basically, with security as a result of it. And so I think the political rhetoric, in addition to the tensions that we're seeing leading up to the November election, it's a dangerous time to be in politics. And obviously, hate has no place here. And so we vehemently condemn that.
Now, I know you can't reveal much, and I certainly understand that. And I want to keep you safe, Congresswoman, and your colleagues. But you are a Florida Congresswoman. This latest attempt on Donald Trump was in Florida. Is there any deemed connection?
We don't know right now, but what I will say is that we have, and what I would actually be comfortable at least saying on air, is that it was from a very far left activist, at least from what I gather. And so I won't say too much more on that. But it is alarming that we're specifically seeing that people that are simply fighting for Americans that feel that they've been left behind or ignored by Washington, that we're becoming the targets. And I also would like to point out that female members of Congress are actually the most targeted for violence and harassment. And, it's one thing when you just hear about it on television or, people might not know me, so they might not have that connection. But it's different when you have a one-year-old at home and you're a new mom and then you get that kind of stuff. So it's obviously very horrifying.
Yeah, and I certainly understand, Congresswoman, your desire, to cool the rhetoric. And a lot of people have said it's on both sides. I've certainly seen some pretty questionable, strong, fascist allegations on the part of Donald Trump making those comments last night in Michigan against his opponents. Should he also kind of bring down the tension?
I think that there's one thing to call people out on policy positions, and I think that after President Trump literally was shot the first time, that he made it a point to actually mention at his speech at the convention that he was calling for unity. But what I will point out is that even in my own, and speaking to my own case and circumstance, I've actually not seen any of my opponents condemn what happened or even acknowledge that it happened. And so I think the fact is that when you label people a threat to democracy and you demonize them the way, and I'll use President Trump, for example, that they have, it does bring and make it a very real threat that we could get hurt. And so what I will say is, we have a government shutdown that we're staring at the face, and I'm sure you'll probably ask me some questions about that in a few minutes, but just know first and foremost that we're people up here. We're actually, we have families at home, and this type of rhetoric can't continue.
No, I certainly understand what you said there. But of course, I do remember Donald Trump's remarks about, Haitian migrants, killing and eating our dogs and cats, and the combination of that, talking about, birth abortions after birth, killing babies after the fact, that kind of stuff sets in stone anger on the part of many people that the other side is doing that, the other side is approving that. I'm not here to take sides, Congressman. I am just saying that, do you think we're all so hot-headed these days that we've got to get, less hot-headed?
Well, I guess if we're going to talk about the debate, if you notice, the moderators weren't exactly fact-checking Kamala Harris and her claims. And what I would like to post out is I actually had posted a 911 phone call in regards to what was happening with people allegedly reporting that their animals or pets were being eaten. But I think that just speaks to a larger point here, in that they were willing to fact-check President Trump to put out other information. But again, I just can speak to my own personal experience. It is not a good feeling to have that, especially, again, like, I'm a new mom. I have a baby at home, and they were soliciting strangers to send packages to my home that were threatening. So that's your public official.
I certainly hope that works out. You find out what's going on, because that is just intolerable, especially in your case. You don't want to see that in a young mom as well, besides a U.S. Congresswoman. But by the way, back to what was the original intent here. When I heard this news on you, I did want to expound on that. But the government shutdown possibility, Donald Trump seems okay with that, that you should fight for what's important. Where are you on that?
So what I will tell you, and this is directly insider information from the Hill, so there is a group of Republicans that obviously don't want to see more government spending, and I would say that those are the ones that are principled. And then you have a group that want to push for the omnibus because they want certain things in there. And so I have never voted for a debt ceiling increase or a CR, but what I will tell you is because of the fact that the SAVE Act is going to be attached to this, I'm going to be voting that for one specific reason, and I believe that we can only get that passed in regards to leading up to the November elections and ensure that we have safe and secure elections. We passed the SAVE Act as a standalone bill back in, I believe it was July, and it's been sitting in the Senate. And so if we can send it over, attach this, hopefully they'll pass it through, and that's where I stand on it. I ask my colleagues and I urge them to please support it.
All right, Congresswoman, be safe. Keep us posted, or how much you can keep us posted, but certainly be safe. Congresswoman, thank you again.
Thank you.